Here with a closer look at the next steps is my guest, Deepak Gupta, SDSU Distinguished Professor of Political Science. And Deepak, the U.S. has been conducting airstrikes against the so-called ISIS state since August. Why is the president asking Congress for authorization for military force against ISIS now?
Well, I think it's a political move on his part. Because, for one thing, what has happened is that the Republicans have been complaining that he's working outside the bounds of the Constitution, and people like Ted Cruz and many others, and there is a segment of the American population who believe that he should have some bounds on his power. And this also is on the left as well. So I think this is a political move on his part to get the Congress involved in real public policy discussion.
Sure. This new authorization, could it change? Is it a change for U.S. strategy in the fight against ISIS?
I don't think so.
No.
I really don't think so, because it is only going to be formalizing what all the options that we have. Right now, the president does not have any real authority to go into Syria and bomb ISIS's position. But this will allow him to go into Syria if the need would arise, with 100,000 or 200,000 military personnel on the ground.
You were talking about the possible, the political balance of this. What about the political ramifications of this move?
The political ramification is that he will force the Congress, which has been taking, the GOP in particular, who have been taking pot shots against him as the opposition party, it will force them to come to the table with him and engage him in a dialogue and be part of the decision. So if things go right, usually the president takes responsibility, the credit for
Sure.
it. And if it doesn't, it provides them with a cover.
An outlet, which would be the Republican side. How much, you touched on this, how much of a battle do you think this will be between the Democrats and the Republicans in Congress?
I believe that the GOP will engage him in a very spirited debate. However, after a little discussion and fireworks, they will coalesce around the idea that the president needs to have this power.
Do you think that the president's strategy on this will make an impact in dismantling ISIS?
I really strongly believe that ISIS will face demise fairly soon, because it has created more enemies than it knows what to do with. It's a really narrowly defined area of Sunni Islam, and so all the Shias, even the Sunnis, are scared about this movement. It has been brutal. It has shown incredible disregard for all things that we hold sacred in humanity, and therefore I think that it is destined to be forgotten and destroyed, just like Zarqawi's group, which preceded this group. And
Sure.
It happens if you are too virulent, you self-destruct.
This authorization, if approved, would expire in 3 years. Is that an indication that this is a fight that the new president, who will be elected, would have to contend with this issue as well?
Absolutely, because what happens, it's kind of interesting that the War Powers Act was enacted during the Vietnam era to curtail the president's ability to wage war without consulting the Congress, which has the constitutional responsibility of declaring a war. But in this case, the president is in effect asking for a restriction on his power. So the reason being that right now there is a huge disconnect between the president and the Congress, which did not exist during the time of Vietnam. And often, sometimes it was to the detriment of the country. But in this way, I believe that the president will be able to show that the entire United States government is behind his decisions.
I see. Professor of Political Science Deepak Gupta, thanks so much for the update.
You're most welcome. Thank you.